Is upward facing dog. Get your hands about underneath the shoulders, and I like to put the fingers so they're facing towards the feet, so that I can stretch out the wrist and get a little bit of forearm stretch. And then every day is a little bit different as to how long I have to wait for the low back to get into place. Having to wait a little bit because with my low back at least, what happens is if I try to do this and try to go as far as I can, as quick as I can, what happens is the low back says no. There's too much pain, there's too much sensation. There's just the discs or vertebrae are not in the right spot. And then as I relax, right, so I'm now a minute into the pose, and it feels like everything's all right and happy with the low back. So now I can extend and reach all the way back. So this is why I hold the poses, one of the reasons why I hold the poses for so long, right, because just 30 seconds sometimes is not enough for the body to really get into place, especially for stuff that you don't have an active muscle to change the positioning of, such as the discs and vertebrae in your back. There we go, feel a nice stretch. Use the muscles to gently tug the back into a further flex. Feel that muscle right at the top of the pelvis. Pulse that muscle, which flexes the low back. And then use the other muscles to flex the rest of the back. Feel that nice, wonderful stretch. 25 seconds. Just relax, release, see what sensations come into the body. Enjoy the pose. That. All right. Now that we've got the back nice and open, one of the things I normally do right here, oh look at that, already got two people, is I'll normally do a quick scorpion pose. I think I'll do that today. I think I'll do a quick scorpion pose, but then keep up with the back bend. I want to do a wheel pose. So let's start off with a scorpion pose just to hit it. Yeah, see? That's why I'm doing this. So I can see if I can. There we go. Congratulations, I can do that. Now I want to do a wheel pose. To test the flex on the back. There we go. So yeah, your mileage may vary. And just try to relax and release into the pose. Yeah, I'll hold this for another 2 minutes. Good luck with that. But that's what I want to try and do. See how that works. My sinuses, especially the right sinus, is a little bit stopped up, so I'm breathing through the mouth. If you can, try to breathe through the nose. And yeah, lots of effort on this pose. all she wrote for that. Alright, one of the most important parts of yoga, if you've got your own daily practice, whatever that is to know your limits. And that was my limit, even though I've still got a minute left. Alright, but life is life, right? Next up on the practice is a long form, forward fold. So, normally, so this is my second forward fold of the practice, which I do right after intense posterior flex. Now I'm doing an anterior flex on the spine, right? So I got to go slow so that, especially the low back, but the rest of the spine and the neck can get into the right position. And make sure the body, there we go, gently close together. So the big toes, the ankles, and the heels all just barely touch. Right, so proper foot posture. And usually when you bring the feet together, if they had been apart, this will present an additional balance challenge. Especially when you have to rotate your feet, right, to get the ankles, big toes, and heels all together. Right? Just trying to maintain that rotation of the feet, as well as maintaining yourself upright. Presents lots of balance challenge. And relax, straighten the legs. Let the spine dangle from the pelvis. Relax and breathe. Remember to consciously relax the muscles in the spine, because they may have a tendency to start to tighten up to maintain balance. So you got to continually, with your conscious awareness, go back through the back and spine and relax those muscles again. And then you can add on by placing the hands under the feet. Right, and I can get my thumbs all the way to whatever that little muscle is that's right below the ankle. And then this provides an additional balance challenge, additional balance sensation. So I even have to bend my knees a little bit to keep that, to maintain that. Then relax. You got 27 seconds left. Wow, yeah, this is actually quite challenging, so that's pretty cool. I've got my knees bent a little bit because I feel a little bit of a stretch that I don't normally feel. Because I've got the thumbs so far back, right? I've got the thumbs right at the base of the arch, almost at the heel, not quite. Again, they're right at that muscle that bulges out right under the ankle. They're at the front of that muscle, which is normally not as far back as I put my thumbs. I usually don't put the hands quite that far back. I usually look at the fingertips kind of touching the front of the heel. So I've got my hands a little bit further down on the ball of the feet, and that's it for that. All right. Next up is my half pigeon. Yay, got some more people. Nice. Thanks for showing up, guys. Guys and girls. Appreciate it. Alright, so let's find a decent spot. There we go. And then, so standard half pigeon, right? But what I like to do is I want to get my right shoulder under the left ankle. And we start the timer, and then I keep feeling stuff in my back foot, so that's why I keep rotating. And there we go. Yeah, I got the shoulder down real quick, right? Which is cool. But I'm having to use a lot of support muscle because the left hip is actually pretty active. It's saying, hey, we got lots of sensation here. And so I'm actually using some other muscles to prevent that stretch, right? Because of the amount of sensation. And so now I've got to slowly start to relax those other support muscles, which will enhance the stretch. And so I do that and then get to zero effort. Yeah, that's the cool thing about this pose is there's a possibility of true zero effort. I'm not using any muscles at all to hold the pose. The unfortunate part about this pose is it presents masculine issues. Well, so with the pelvis so close to the earth, although I would expect there might be feminine issues as well when you're trying to get your chest all the way down to your shin. But that's not something I deal with. I get to deal with masculine issues. And you've got about a minute, 30 seconds left. Breathe through the nose. Relax and release. Yeah, the masculine issues are really starting to creep up. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work when I start to get the pelvis further down. So the right pelvis, that right bone on the right side of the pelvis, is it's not at the earth yet, right? And the plan is as soon as the left hip will allow, is to get that pelvis further down. But we'll see. There's still a lot of sensation on the left hip, so that's going to be a while. And then when you feel that sensation, right, it's a nice deep stretching sensation. Bring your conscious awareness to that stretching sensation. To allow the body to grow. And that's 3 minutes. All right. Yeah, I kind of went quiet right at the end there. That's because I was feeling a nice, awesome stretch. And wow, yeah, that left foot really, like a loss of blood flow or nerve conduction or something. So yeah, it's got a little bit to open up, awaken again. All right, other side. So clear that, start that, get the body ready, right? Half pitching, but then kind of butcher it a little bit so that you can get the left shoulder under the right ankle. There you go. And again, I get the shoulder down real quick, but I'm having to use other support muscles, the stretch of the right hip, because there's too much sensation. Right? Pain is not good, right? You got to stay behind the pain threshold, but you can't have a high sensation threshold, and so you just got to figure that out. And then, yep, masculine issues. Hey, there we go. Get that in the right spot. And feel that stretch on the right hip. Yeah, it's right there on the right hip. Whatever that is, that's getting stretched right there. So that's a nice, good stretch. Apparently that doesn't get stretched often enough. Go. I can even enhance a little. So yeah, it seems like for the enhancements, is when I start to get there, is going to be to start to straighten the spine as I also start to rotate the left side of the pelvis towards the earth. but one fraction at a time. Relax, release. Feel that lovely sensation on the body. Now, 34 seconds. Nice stretch in the right hip. And my timer is set for 3 minutes because 2 minutes and 58 seconds is too short, and 3 minutes and 2 seconds is just too long. But you also, so 3 minutes, right? Why 3 minutes? A good length of time for it is 1.5 minutes. There we go, and that's that. And this is double 1.5 minutes, right? So what's up next? Next up is Hanumanasana, front splits. So we'll get that started, even though I still need the right leg to equalize a little bit. I can equalize in the pose. There we go. So now the hamstring stretch. There we go. Feel that nice stretch on the left side, the left hamstring. Yeah. Again, masculine issues, trying to get that stuff in the right spot as it goes towards the floor. And so, yeah, I'm settling out. I'm rotating my chest and upper body towards the earth, right, so that I can feel a stretch on the left hamstring. And then I'm actually using quite a little bit of effort on the left leg, different places, in order to feel that stretch on the left hamstring. Just more the support, right, to keep the rotation in the right spots. The foot's pointed up. But why 3 minutes, right? 1.5 minutes is good, right? And so then 3 minutes is even better. Fantastic question. I used to always just count my breaths, and I used to always count up to 28 breaths, 28 exhales, which just, I don't know, seems like it feels right, because it's you have long enough in the pose that you can really relax into the pose, but then you also limit yourself that you're not spending all day in the pose, right? So you can have a lot of good growth. And then feel that, yeah, so all the stretch is actually on the kind of hip and the hamstring, which is what I'm really trying to get, right? Because I feel a stretch, right? So I'm just trying to enhance that stretch and use all the other support muscles to get the rest of the body into a position where I can maximize that stretch. But then, of course, you also have to try to relax those muscles, which is not easy because you're using so much muscular effort to get into the stretch, right? So it's kind of a mixed bag thing. So I want to get, actually, yeah, I kind of have, it's taken basically till this point. So now I've got the left pelvis, the bottom of the left pelvis, basically on the earth. All right, but that only happened just a few seconds ago. I've still got a super intense stretch on the left side. Right, so I want to get the pelvis to the earth, right? Cheating by rolling over. But then once I do that, then I'll start to straighten up and I'll start to turn towards. And 3, 2, 1. And that's all she wrote for that side. And the other side. Get out nice and slow, nice and easy. Feel that left hip. Alright, start up with the other side. Is there a way to get the foot in frame? There we go. So yeah, my left leg, looking at the camera, is basically kind of straight behind. Can you see? Maybe, yeah, there you go. Left leg is way behind there. So I'm basically kind of on the inside of the left knee a little bit, kind of halfway between the inside of the knee and the quad. Then also I'm leaning forward a lot, or leaning to the side a lot. And again, so I can get that stretch on the right hamstring. And I want to get the right side of the pelvis onto the earth. Kind of just discovered that on the other side. And so I'm changing the positioning of my body, the upper body, with respect to the pelvis, so I can focus on that right hamstring stretch. Because the left hip is at kind of what feels like a maximum, where it's like the joint just doesn't go any further on that left side, right? So I've got to kind of work my balance and body around that so that I can focus on a stretch of the right hamstring. Minute 30 seconds left. And so, yeah, the second side's always a little more open than the first side. That's just the way things go. And then, personally, my right side is a little more open than my left side. So I basically kind of already got the right pelvis down. And so now it's just a process of trying to relax the other muscles. Yeah, lots of sensation, right? So just find a point where I can feel some nice sensation and just bring that sensation to conscious awareness. As you bring the sensation to conscious awareness, that's when the body opens. And you maintain the pose, right? So again, eventually I'm going to start to stretch this up, or I might stretch this down, I'm not sure. Either way, something. But it's going to be like this, and I'm going to start working my way over, right? Because I can twist the back, right? But eventually I want to square the hips towards the right leg. That's going to be a while. And it feels like the right hamstring is the limiting factor on that. So you feel that nice intense stretch. There it is. And you go with it. Continue to breathe, relax, release. Oh, and that is that. All right. Find a safe way to get out. So yeah, now my hamstrings will blitz. Yay. All right. Next up, wide splits. Your starter for wide splits, if you're not there yet, is Baddha Konasana. If you can't get your knees down, you probably want to focus on this. If you can't get your knees down, right, next thing you want to start trying, right, is do this, right? And then put your weight on your hands to where it's comfortable, right? Eventually you get down to the elbows, right, or it's comfortable. And then eventually the legs just start to splay open. The other way to do it, right, is to just, like, sit, spine. It's not straight, right? Just spine is bent. And slowly open the legs, right? And then just watch the timer and hold the pose, right? And when you found that, right, what you want to do is get the entirety of the upper body, abs, and pelvis flat onto the earth, in which case you start to run into masculine issues again. Yay, fun stuff. There we go. And on this, I want to add a little bit of a twist. Can't seem to add as much of a twist as I'd like. Oh well, we'll stick with this. And relax. Feel that nice stretch. Yeah, so what I'd like to do, right, is just add an upper body twist. Because I need to add an upper body twist in my practice somehow. So it feels like that's tightening up. But at least this will stretch the shoulder. And the other side. Keep the body balanced. Enjoy the pose, relax, release.
Feel the body. Bring conscious awareness to where you feel sensation. So oddly enough, the most sensation I'm feeling right now is at the far right side of the right pec, the right pectoral muscle. So apparently it's getting pushed around by the right shoulder muscles. That's only because I've been practicing this for long enough that I can get the legs all the way out to the side. It took me about 6 to 12 months, more or less, to go from super tight hamstrings, not being able to do anything close to the splits, to loose enough hamstring and inner thigh that I could do the splits. So, and that's with daily practice, right? So that's why I do daily practice. That's why I do about 3 minutes, because that's just about as long as it takes. Alright, next up is play with handstand. So, hands over the shoulders, right? Press up in your starter pose, because it's just that simple. And so you know what? We're going to lift the camera up a little bit, because I saw yesterday I could not see my feet. Which was one of the more interesting things on the handstand, right? Is what happens to your feet as you try to balance. So you can't see my hands so much, but hey, trust me, fingers are spread open and out to the side a little bit. Shift the weight of the body. You bend the elbows to get started so you can feel control. And then once you get in, you straighten the elbows to lessen the effort. So maybe, we'll see. Come on, hold it. You got it? Maybe a little bit. Yeah. Focus. Concentrate. There we go. Use the fingers for balance. And the legs. And the body. Straight. Oh, that was it. I was trying to straighten the chest. The chest felt like it was like a little bit at an angle, and I was trying to straighten the chest with respect to the arms. And as soon as I tried that, I came down. Right. There we go. All right. So that's my practice for today. Thanks everyone for joining. Should be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. either tomorrow or the next day. Definitely will most likely be here Monday. Sunday, sometime kind of hit or miss. But in any case, hope to see y'all again tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., and hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.